Thank you, Mayor. Now I'd like to welcome Bohdana Stefanenko-Lipovic, Director of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress in Alberta.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Alberta Provincial Council, and Edmonton branch, I would like to express our sincere condolences to the innocent victims of the Ukrainian International Flight 752. We are deeply saddened of the loss of 177 lives and passengers of this flight. As we all know, a lot of them were Canadians and Edmontonians. A lot of them were affiliated to the Canadian universities as students or academics who had traveled to Iran during the Christmas break to see their loved ones and their families. We are also saddened to have lost the entire Ukrainian flight crew that was on board serving the airline. It is truly incomprehensible that such a senseless disaster has occurred. There are not enough words to express the sorrow and the impact this had done to all of our communities, families, friends, and our society as a whole. We hope that with time the pain of the deep loss in our community will ease. May the fond memories of each and every one of the victims remain close to our hearts, and that we are all able to find peace of mind in the weeks, months, and years to come. May all the victims rest in peace, вечная память. May their memories be eternal.
Thank you, Bohdana. With us today, we have Javad Soleimani, who lost in this tragedy his wife, Elnaz Nabii. Javad and Elnaz came to Edmonton as U of A students in 2018.
Hello, everybody. Honestly, it's really hard for me to be here. I'm here just for Elnaz, her family, other innocent victims and their families. I'm Javad Soleimani. I lost my wife Elnaz in the flight PS752, which was shut down by the Iranian regime. Elnaz and I moved to Edmonton in September of 2018 to start our PhD program at Alberta School of Business. The beauty of Canada, in Elnaz's viewpoint, was its diversity, that a wide variety of people with different beliefs and backgrounds could live together and respect each other. Elnaz actually convinced me to move here, but now I'm alone without her, crying through days and nights with her memories, photos. Elnaz and I were supposed to be in Vancouver for the reading week. That is this week. But now I'm here in her memorial with only a photo of her. Elnaz and I were so eager to expand our family after her comprehensive exam in the following summer. We had lots of dreams and plans for our future babies. All of them are gone. Dear Elnaz, there are 16 children with you there now. Rira, Dursa, Daniel, Darya, Durina, Maya, Rastin. Don't leave them alone. Play with them, tell them stories, draw paintings for them. Dear Elnaz, I don't know how to calm myself down. Please come back home. I'm not enough strong to handle your loss. I'm even afraid of touching your clothes. I terribly miss your beautiful smile. Dear Elnaz, please come back home soon. I can't do this without you. Please let me know that the past 45 days have just been a long nightmare. I beg you. Please come back home. Dear Elnaz, no parent should bury their child. You were not only a daughter to your parents, you were their whole world. Please come back home for your devastated mother. When I was in Zanjan, the city that Elnaz is buried in, I criticized a couple of government officials related to the so-called supreme leader of the regime. I asked them why they didn't allow us to have our own private funeral. The next day, the Iranian intelligence service called me and asked me to go to their office. Obviously, I didn't go there and left Iran immediately the day after. It is unbelievable that they kill people and don't let their families to ask why their children are killed. When I identified and received Elnaz's remains, only her hands were intact. All the other parts were burned and crushed. I really regret that I didn't kiss her, at least her hands, one last time. It was shocking that our wedding ring was missing despite her hands being intact, and despite the fact that I was told by the officials that our wedding ring is there on her hand. It seems that they even stole our wedding ring. It's unbelievable. I'm in touch with many families of the victims and similar things happen to them. The Iranian regime easily kills people and then steals their valuable stuff. It's terrible that they took our wedding ring right off her hand and didn't hand it over to me. If the Iranian regime insists on keeping the black box inside Iran or damage it, as it looks like they are doing it now, it means that shooting down the flight was an intentional action. I should say that I will be happy if the Iranian officials can prove that this was just a human error. But now their behavior proving this catastrophe to be something more than a human error by an operator. The president and the foreign minister of Iran are professional liars and cheaters. All military, financial, and political power in Iran is under the control of the so-called supreme leader. He is responsible for this catastrophe, and he didn't even apologize for shooting down the plane. This is how shameless they are. I now would like to address the Iranian officials and its responsible supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Why did you use innocent people on the plane as human shield on basis of speculation of US response after attacking US military bases in Iraq? Why did you systematically lie for 3 days by blaming it on a technical problem? Elnaz hated you and your disgusting attitude. Why did you hijack the funerals of the victims? Why are you still afraid of allowing the contents of the black box to be released? Stop threatening the families of the victims. We are not going to be silent. I now would like to talk directly to Canadians and to the government of Canada. I don't know how to express my gratitude and say thank you to all Canadians for their warm support and help. Mr. Prime Minister, the Iranian regime is an irresponsible regime. They will not cooperate with you. Please don't give them further time to distract everyone's attention from the catastrophe. They will try to conceal this catastrophe with another catastrophe. As crimes pile up, they become invisible. Please don't shake hands with habitual liars and killers. If you have to do it, please don't smile. We, families of the victims, ask the government of Canada to stay determined to pursue justice through any appropriate domestic or international channels such as International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice. You promised us to pursue justice in this case, and we trust you to stay true to your word. We will never forgive. We will never forget. We want justice. We want justice. And we want to make the Iranian regime accountable for its irresponsible and shameless behavior. At the end, I'd like to take a moment to thank the city of Edmonton, the mayor, and the Iranian Heritage Society of Edmonton for today's event. Thank you so much.